You know that sweet silence when you put on noise-canceling headphones? You can actually thank a hero from ancient Greece, a military engineer from the 50s, and an MIT professor who loves sound design. Let me show you how noise cancellation started with monsters, myths, and changed our listening experience forever.
I am Kemal Oksal, professor at Berklee College of Music. For over 20 years, I've worked as a music producer, conductor, and educator, leading orchestras, producing albums, and mentoring young artists. Now, I invite you to discover the stories that shape what we hear. Each week, I open the words behind the music, and whether you are a musician or not, you are invited. So, let's get started.
So, let's start with a basic question. Who invented the noise cancellation? Apple, Samsung, or Bose? Actually, none of those companies, but a sonic superhero. To meet with this inventor, I want you to picture the 1950s world. Rock and roll is just breaking out. Jet engines are roaring. Everything is loud and getting louder. And there is this genius named Dr. Lawrence Vogel who is about to change how we experience the sound forever. He wasn't trying to make cool headphones, but he was trying to save pilots' hearing in the crazy loud helicopter cockpits. As a musician, I totally get this. I mean, remember those gigs where your ears would ring for days, right? So Dr. Vogel was working on a solution to create the perfect sound shield by using just the audio itself, long before we had those fancy noise-canceling headphones. This actually wasn't some kind of a Silicon Valley startup, but this was pure, brilliant engineering born in the military labs. Dr. Vogel created a system that could literally listen to incoming noise and create an opposite sound wave to cancel it out. It is actually like an audio judo, using the noise's own power against itself. Let's imagine two judoka. By the way, a practitioner of judo is called judoka. And let's say they are doing exactly the same movements simultaneously in a mirroring position, and who do you think is going to win? Audio judo is a very nice analogy to visualize the concept, but we musicians call it something else, phase cancellation. And what is phase cancellation? Think of it like two identical waves. When they are perfectly aligned, they create a massive sound. But when they are offset by exactly opposite half a wavelength, they can completely destroy each other. You know what? Let me show you this in Logic Pro. Come with me. Okay, we are in Logic Pro X. You see three tracks in three different colors. Our first track is in green. It is our original track. The second track is in purple. It is the copy of the original track. And the third one is the copy of the original track, but that time the phase inverted. It means the third track has the exact opposite wavelength than the original one. Let's have a listen to our original take.
Lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day.
Okay, let's also have a look at our stereo output level. It is around minus 26.8 decibel. That time, I'm going to start with the original track, but I will add my copy around the second half of the phrase. Let's see what will change on our stereo out.
Lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. Lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day.
Okay, as you see here, our stereo output level is around minus 20.7 decibel. It was expected because those two tracks are identical. When we add the second track, it boosts our volume. That time, I will do the same experiment. I will start with my original take, but around second half, rather than the copy, I will add my phase inverted version. But before doing that, let's have a look the shapes of our wavelengths. I will choose a random place and let's see. Okay, here we are. This looks good. Perfect. I just replaced my ruler right at the beginning of the phrase. So my green one and my purple one, the identical ones, they are having the same wavelengths. They start down, down, up, up. But on the other hand, look at our yellow one. It starts exact opposite. It starts up, down, up, down. Let's see what will happen.
Lovely day, 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 lovely.
Nothing expected. And as you see here, we have signal on the first track and also we have signal on the third track, but we have nothing on our stereo output. As soon as I will mute my phase inverted version, we will start hearing again.
Day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day.
That's the phase cancellation.
Okay, so the noise cancellation technology is basically a sophisticated version of phase cancellation. A microphone listens to external noise. The system creates an exact opposite wave. The waves collide and neutralize each other. Okay, but who is the first sound engineer that I mentioned in the title of this episode? Dr. Fogel? In 1950s? Of course not. To find the answer and relate with our story, let's time travel back to one of the most legendary sound encounters in history. I mean, really back, approximately 3,200 years back. Have you seen the movie Troy? It's an okay movie, especially if you compare it with the actual story of 20 years. Troy, an ancient city on the coast of what is now Turkey, the site of one of the most legendary wars in history, the Trojan War. The Trojan War was between the Spartans and the Trojans, sparked by a stolen queen and well remembered for its heroes, like Achilles and Hector, and of course for the trick that ended it all.
What is this?
The Trojan horse. One of the masterminds behind that trick was our hero Odysseus, a king, warrior, and a man whose journey home will become its own epic tale. That is where we are going to find the story of first sound engineering and survival. After the Trojan War, Odysseus spends 10 years trying to return home Ithaca. He faces multiple challenges like battling monsters, storms, and even the gods themselves. As Odysseus and his crew sailed home, they were warned about the sirens. Sirens were mythical creatures whose beautiful singing could lure sailors to their deaths by crashing their ships on the rocky shores. Odysseus was super curious, wanted to hear their song, but without losing his ship, of course. So he came up with a plan. He had his crew fill their ears with beeswax so they couldn't hear the deadly music. Odysseus himself was tied to the mast of his ship so he could listen but not steer the ship to the danger. And the sirens sang, promising knowledge and secrets, but Odysseus' crew rowed past safely, ignoring his desperate cries to turn the ship around. It is one of the most iconic examples of Odysseus' cleverness and curiosity, and his constant battle between reason and temptation. In the Odyssey, the sirens weren't just singers. They were audio weapons of mass destruction. Odysseus' perfect plan was to neutralize the siren's song by using the first ever known noise cancellation. Okay, here is my shoutout board based on the stories that we mentioned. 8th century BC, Odysseus, first sound engineer and the inventor of the original sound trap. 1950s, Dr. Fogel's first modern noise cancellation systems. 1986, Dr. Amar Bose commercializes the technology, and today, noise cancelling headphones in every coffee shop thanks to the modern audio engineers. From my journey as a musician to becoming a professor at Berkeley, I have learned that the most incredible innovations often come from the most unexpected places and times. Noise cancellation? It is not just a tech, it's a story of human creativity, from Homer to modern audio engineers. Technology like this proves something I always tell my students. Music and science are way more connected than you think. It's all about understanding waves, frequencies, how you use them, and how you flow with them. Phase cancellation is proof that the universe also speaks with sound waves, and they are everywhere even though we cannot hear them all. It is the audio equivalent of an epic battle, where sometimes the most powerful move is to create silence. See you on the next one.